Hello everyone. So let me ask you something. Imagine that your Jira instance is down, and if you're using Jira Cloud, then it could actually happen because it has happened before. Now, when your Jira instance is down, then you are, of course, in problem because your teams, your developers, managers, they of course rely on Jira and they need Jira to be up and running so that they can do their work. And to be honest, in this case, you have to basically uh, look at some data that you may have exported from Jira. I think that is the only thing that will or can help you uh, at least, of course, for some time so that you're not blocked. Imagine that your Jira instance is down for like 4 hours, right? So tomorrow morning, if you go to your office or if you open your laptop, you log in and you realize that, okay, my Jira is not running. What should I do? So you don't really want your developers to, or your anyone in your team member to just sit idle, right? If they are not doing anything, then of course you're losing money, and it is of course not good for you as a company. And I have few suggestions that I can definitely share. And to be honest, although it can happen, but it is unlikely. I mean, we have to be aware of it. I mean, that is the advantage of using a SaaS-based product. Although last year it happened for not just a couple of hours, it happened for a few days. And and I guess if it has happened before, it can happen again. And it has always happened with similar SaaS-based tools because you're just using someone else's computer to run your application, which is fine. Now the thing is, because Jira is an important tool, people rely on Jira to do their work, and at least you should have a way to look at what your teams were doing or some kind of a snapshot. Now the thing is, in Jira there is no easy way to create a backup that you can also revert somewhere. Now, in this situation, what you can do, I mean, some possibilities. One possibility is to make sure that you take a Jira backup every day of your Jira Cloud instance. So if you have a backup, potentially you can restore it somewhere for the time being. And when your main Jira instance is back up again, then of course you can resume your work, but there will be a delta unless you restore the backup and you take a backup again and you restore it again, which is of course not really ideal. But what you can do is take a backup, and if possible, your teams can look at the temporary Jira instance. The other thing that you can do is, which is my recommendation, uh, if you're of course, to be honest, I'm making this video for those rare cases, but it is always good to know. The other thing that you can do is uh, take a backup of not really the entire Jira instance, but have some kind of automation set up somewhere outside Jira that will dump Jira data to, let us say, a CSV file. And I personally know a lot of organizations or teams where they do this anyways to report on Jira data. Basically, if you have data somewhere outside Jira, then of course you can report on it. But along with reporting, you can actually use that information, of course, to work in case of Jira is down. And you should definitely consider, like if you're trying to prioritize, try to dump this information in a CSV format, or maybe do it in Excel sheet, to be honest, because if you have, let us say, Excel sheet or Google Sheets, to be honest, you can just set up this maybe using a macro in Excel or a Google app script that will do this every day for you. And if Jira is down, you can refer to that Excel sheet. I'm talking about Excel sheet or Google Sheet or CSV because you can straight away look at the data. So there is no restore necessary. Let us say your Jira is down, you open the sheet, you take a look at the information, and apart from readily based information which you can just look at and of course continue your work. You can also revert it, or not revert, but restore it, basically export it again in Jira, because Jira has the CSV import feature anyways. And if your Jira instance is down, you don't really want to be blocked. You don't really want everyone to just raise their hands and not do anything. They should not complain. You should not give them reason that we have no idea about when Jira will be back. We have no clue, no visibility of what you were doing, and you can always point them to this sheet straight away. And this is something that is not at all difficult to do. You can do that. I've done that using a shell script. So run a shell script every day, create a timestamped CSV, and it is just a text file. It is not really going to be like too big. And if you're doing it using the REST API, then of course you have to make sure that you take care of the pagination. So basically, if you want to do it for more than 1,000 issues, then handle it. And if you're using REST API, then you can do it using shell script. You can do it using Node.js. You can do it using Excel VBA. You can do it using Google Apps Script or Python script. So you have multiple possibilities, but dump this information in a CSV format. And of course, this is on the team level. And maybe you as a Jira admin can propose or maybe set it up on need basis. For example, if you have some kind of a service desk, maybe maybe publish this service that request us for this backup of your project data, and we'll configure it for you. And I think this should be because it is not difficult to do. You should definitely consider doing it. Basically, so what I'm saying is that take your own backup. I know there are some apps. In fact, I made one video on that, to be honest. In fact, couple of apps now, and there are other solutions as well. But if you have an app which is within Jira, then if your Jira is down, then that app is also not really accessible. So you don't really want to rely just on Jira availability. And if you have something in CSV, Excel, Google Sheet, or your own database format, then you are not really blocked at all. So you will have something to refer to. And yeah, that is it. That is all I wanted to talk about in this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and you learned something new. Thank you very much.